No, Red, let me tell you something. What does hope look like? Not in theory, not in philosophy, but in a single image. If you were asked to design a symbol powerful enough to inspire millions of people, what would it be? Well, in 1938, an answer appeared in the newsstands across America. A man lifting a car above his head. People scatter in fear. Some run. One man collapsed forward as if he was trying to run from whatever it is that was chasing him, or perhaps the cautioned area. And at the center of the image stands a calm, confident figure wearing a cape. That figure is Superman. Now, at first glance, this cover might seem simple, even primitively compared to modern comic art. But sometimes simplicity is precisely what allows an idea to travel further than everyone expects. But at the same time, I think it's the first modern superhero, let me get that right, is what makes it, $15 million worth. I mean, ain't that just insane? $15 million for a comic book. But of course, it's not just a comic book, it's the comic book. It's the first depiction of Superman. Before Superman's stories certainly had heroes, ancient mythology had Hercules or Hyperion. Literature had characters of bravery and strength. Pulp magazines featured detectives, explorers, and adventurers. But Superman introduced something different. He introduces modern superheroes. He introduces the modern superhero. Now think about the time of this moment. The year is 1938. The United States is still recovering from the Great Depression. Economic instability had shaken the country. Around the world, political tensions were rising rapidly. Within a year, the Second World War would begin. It was the moment in history when many people felt uncertain about the future. And into that uncertainty arrived an image of extraordinary power. A man strong enough to lift a car, but strength alone was not what made Superman remarkable. In fact, many powerful characters had existed before him. What made Superman unique was the philosophy behind the power. Superman wasn't created to rule humanity, he was created to protect it. This distinction may sound simple, but it carries profound meaning. Throughout history, power has often been associated with domination. Kings ruled kingdoms, empires expanded through conquest. Strength was something that allowed one individual to impose their will upon others. But Superman introduced a radically different idea: power used in service of others. Just wait, imagine that for a moment. A character with abilities far beyond any human being, who chooses not to dominate the world but to quite literally defend it. And perhaps that idea explains why Superman resonated so deeply with the audience. Because beneath the costume and the extraordinary abilities lies something fundamentally human, a moral ideal. Now let's consider another interesting detail about this cover. The people in the scene are not cheering, they are not celebrating, they are afraid. Why? I mean, you see a guy who's strong enough to lift a car and they have saved the life of a man? Why? Because witnessing something truly extraordinary can be unsettling. When people encounter power, they do not understand. Their first instinct is not admiration, it is uncertainty. It's almost like seeing a biblically accurate angel in your room at 3 a.m. just saying, yo, what's up, gang? And your first instinct is to probably scream, but this guy is like, be not afraid. Anyways, back to the story. And yet, over time, the image of Superman evolved into something else entirely. A symbol of justice, a symbol of hope, a symbol that would inspire generations of characters who followed. Within just a few years, an entire genre emerged. Heroes like Batman and Wonder Woman who soon appear, expanding the universe of heroic storytelling. If you guys are enjoying this, be sure to like and subscribe and share this video, and watching this entire video gets it out to way more people, so stay tuned. Not only that, soon I'm going to be doing comics. All I have to do is learn how to color, and it's game time, baby. Let's go. Back to the story. But every one of them traces back to this moment, this single comic, this single image, a man lifting a car, and almost a century later, the influence of that moment can still be felt across global culture. Superheroes dominate cinema, television, and modern storytelling. Entire fictional universes exist because one idea proved powerful enough to capture the imagination of millions. But perhaps the most important lesson hidden within the original image is not about strength, it's about responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Sorry, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. Because Superman reminds us of something essential. True power is not defined by what someone is capable of doing. It is defined by what they choose to do. And the choice Superman makes is simple: to help, to protect, to stand between danger and the people who can't face it alone. So I'll leave it to you with this one final thought. If extraordinary powers suddenly appeared in the world, what kind of symbol would we choose to become? Would we use that power for control, or would we choose the same path Superman did nearly a century ago? The path of service, the path of protection, the path of hope. And perhaps that is why Action Comics #1 remains one of the most important images in the history of modern storytelling. Because sometimes the most powerful myths are not the ones about gods ruling the world, but the ones about someone strong enough to help it.